This is Goku7DBZ and welcome back to Video Game News. So, of course, it's Monday morning, or early afternoon, whatever. First up, no movie news, of course, right now with theaters closed, obviously. Here's a quick few things. One thing of some sales going on, I selected here and there some different deals I thought that were pretty good. And you can think about these sale deals are strictly for Xbox players. Some of these deals are exclusive only to Gold members, of course, and some are also special like bundle deals. So first off, you have deals with Gold. Decay of Logos, which is a newer indie game. It's on sale for $14.99. Old Man's Journey, which actually I played when I had Game Pass. It's pretty good. You can get for $4.99. Also, you have Saints Row Reelected for $4.99. Also, not so good, but still, Agony is on sale for $3.99. We Happy Few is on sale for $17.99. Also, for original Xbox lovers, part of this sale, you can also purchase of original Xbox, which is backwards compatible with Xbox One. These games, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 are both on sale, and they are only $3.49 each. So basically, $7 for both Knights of the Old Republic games. So, if you've never had, or if you've thought about rigging the game and you play in the past, and you have Xbox One, you might, or PC, you might want to look into picking this up. I mean, $7 for both games is a ridiculously good deal. Some of the bundles, you have the Borderlands collections on sale for $14.99, though it's on sale a lot. Also, you have the Batman Arkham collection, which is Arkham Asylum, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and of course Arkham Knight. For $23.99 for all three of those, that trilogy. Also, you have the Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Both the standard versions of both Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2, both games together for $12.74, which is pretty dang good deal if you ask me. Also, you have the Assassin's Creed Enzo trilogy of all three Assassin's Creed 2 games for $11.99. So if you like Assassin's Creed 2, might want to look into this. Also, you have Doom 2016 bundle with Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus for $16.19. Odd price, but whatever. You also have a special Far Cry collection, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry 5. Triple pack for $35.99. Now, to be fair, it's not super cheap, but you are getting 3 full Far Cry games, so it's not really that bad. Also, you have the BioWare double pack deal, which is Dragon Age Inquisition along with Mass Effect Andromeda for $14.99. Then you have a special bundle, the Crash and Sing trilogy, with also the remake of Crash Nitro whatever Racing, which is $41.24, and that's for both games. So you're really getting technically 4 Crash games, both remakes. Also, of course, of new releases that just came out now, we're go on to regular game news. Of course, new remakes have been released: Resident Evil 3 remake and Final Fantasy 7 remake. 2 massive remakes. Unfortunately, I can't get Final Fantasy 7 remake right now because I had it pre-ordered through GameStop, which is currently closed thanks to coronavirus. So gee, thanks for that. So it'll be a while before I get to Final Fantasy 7 remake. But whatever. Also, there was an announcement that thanks to the coronavirus, Sony announced that The Last of Us 2 has been delayed. So that's no surprise. I expected some of the bigger, massive games to be delayed. I was expecting Final Fantasy to get delayed again because of Square. But actually, The Last of Us 2, which is definitely a massive sized game, getting delayed, I say it's a pretty big deal for especially the hardcore fan community of the first game. Now, some info, some stuff that's come out on Metacritic scores so far for some recent game releases. First up, for the Nintendo Switch, the Metacritic score for was it Zombie Army Trilogy has a 70% on Metacritic. Also, you have Disaster Report 4. It has a 62% Metacritic score for PS4 and a 56 Metacritic score for the Nintendo Switch. Also, on some stuff, the Resident Evil 3 remake has different scores on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. First up, the PC version of Resident Evil 3 remake has a 78% Metacritic score. The PlayStation 4 version has a 80% Metacritic score, and the Xbox One version has an 85% Metacritic score. So that's interesting. Also, the Resident Evil Resistance mode has a separate critic score. The Resident Evil Resistance side mode or multiplayer mode to RE3 Remake has a Metacritic score of 67%. Also, of some recent releases, also quickly mention Persona 5 Royal has a 95% Metacritic score. That's pretty impressive, but then again, the original Persona 5 got one heck of a critic score as well. Also, we have the VR Half-Life game that's been released exclusive to PC because it requires, like, strictly the Valve VR headset. Oh yeah, I see what you're doing there, Valve, and making people spend like $1,000 for a VR headset just to play a short couple hour game. Not worth it. But it has a 93% Metacritic score, which is pretty good. Final Fantasy VII Remake Metacritic score is sitting at 87%, and that's just the critic score. It remains to be seen what the score is going to be on Metacritic among gamers and players. We'll see how that ends up being versus the Metacritic score, or the critic score of Metacritic. I think I'm confusing myself. Last of the Metacritic scores recently done, Ori and the Will of the Wisps has a Metacritic score of 90%. And given I've played so far a little bit of Will of the Wisps, I can honestly say that game deserves the 90% Metacritic score. Because it is that good, in my opinion. I'm not sure whether or not I'll end up enjoying this more than the first one, but from what I've tried so far, I might end up liking the second Ori game more than actually Ori and the Blind Forest, surprisingly. This one may actually end up my favorite of the two. Also, some economic news that just came out, if anybody's into stock or anything, but it also involves gaming. It was announced 7 game companies or tech companies that are actually doing quite well right now, even with the coronavirus situation going on. They're actually doing very well. And this comes from, I forget the, it was I think it was either the Washington Post or something else. It was a stock interest paper that came out on this info. The 7 companies that are actually doing well right now are Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Take-Two Interactive, which I know nothing about, Activision Blizzard, Amazon, and Alphabet. And those you may not know, Alphabet is the parent company of Google. So those are the 7 companies right now that are doing really good. It is interesting, Activision is actually not hurting right now. But I guess I'm not too surprised with Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo since they're both hardware and software. And I'm not really surprised by Alphabet or Amazon, but as I said, I know nothing about Take-Two Interactive. Now, with that said, also just a recent report, and then I'll get right atop this video. This is just a brief little study that just came out from The Guardian, which is a big paper in the United Kingdom. According to a recent study done by The Guardian, shows that they estimate right now 37 million gamers in the UK. And given the UK's population is only like, I think something like 65 or 66 million people, that is actually quite impressive a deal. I mean, that is really good. You're basically saying like 2 out of 3 people in Britain, or rather the United Kingdom, actually are gamers. And if those statistics are correct, that's pretty impressive if you ask me. But yeah, that's something. About 37 million gamers in the UK. Game on over there in the United Kingdom. And stay safe, everyone. I'll get right up this video game news. Leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are on some of the news or deals. And give me a heads up if you want me to do a special vlog on some of the eShop deals going on right now. And if you're not interested in me doing a vlog on some of the deals going on eShop, check out RGT or something like that, 85 here on YouTube. He's already done a video on eShop deals. But if you want to strictly hear the deals and not any other info like he does with his videos, then just let me know and I'll make a vlog strictly on a bunch of the great deals going on with the Nintendo eShop. And I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel, and stay safe out there. Whatever you do whatever it takes to stay safe and to stay away from catching the coronavirus. I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.